Hi friends, how are you? Hope all is fine. Uh, we're back for one more session now, and very quickly we are closing on to finish our syllabus. Right? I'm left with two more chapters to go. Right? One from human welfare, and the other is evolution. In the previous week, we did microbes in human welfare. Hope you have solved the MCQs with respect to that. Today, we will be doing one more chapter from the same unit, right now. Uh, that is enhancement in food production. This chapter is about ways and methods by which food production is, enhanced in our country, and we talk about the various aspects of it. Right. First, let me share my screen with you. Okay. Yes. So the chapter is strategies for enhancement in food production. Now, obviously, with an ever increasing population, right now, solely agriculture would not have been enough to meet the food requirements of the country. So we need means and methods by which the food production in the country can be increased, it can be augmented. 1964 we had the advent of green revolution. Right now, what is green revolution? How technology is applied to increase the production of the staple things which are eaten in the country. uh, Apart from agriculture, we also had focus on increasing the quality and quantity of animal products, right, including dairy, including meat. And the latest advent has been tissue culture, or using biotechnological means to enhance the production of food. So we could have a brief talk on all these methods. Or right. So as I said, we are dependent on plants for food, also for animals. Right, plants are required for clothing, fuel, drugs, construction material. Right now, for increasing the production of plants, we are using plant breeding as a technology. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, plant breeding as a technology. Right, we're going to talk about plant breeding today. This video is only about talking about plant breeding as a technique. Right now, advanced plant breeding you involves genetics, molecular biology, and tissue culture techniques. Tissue culture will be a separate topic, separate video for that. Okay. Now, going on to plant breeding, I'll just push to that slide. Okay. Now, plant breeding, as written here, applied branch of botany, right? Collective use science for changing and improving the heredity of plants. Now, see, look at the definition given here. It is the purposeful manipulation of plant species. That means we are manipulating the plant species. For what? For developing desired plant types. See, naturally, right now, let's say you sow seeds, rice, jawar, wheat, sugarcane, naturally they are available. But what if we can manipulate the characteristics, the features of these plants that we desire to have in terms of its quality, in terms of its quantity, right now, so that they are better suited for cultivation in all soils, they give better yield, they are disease resistant, they can grow in adverse environments also. Now, these are desired traits, right? So, objectives of plant breeding: developing the desired plant type, number one, improvement in quality, resistance to pathogen and pests, right, which cause economic damage to crops, increasing tolerance limits to environmental stresses like salinity, drought, extreme temperatures, right? So even if the environmental conditions are not suited, then also, overcoming that, also the plant can develop and grow itself. Or development of specific characters of agronomic importance in different crops like dwarfness, intensive branching, reduction in dormancy, etc. Right? Now, domestication is a term which is used for both plants as well as animals. When you use the term domestication, it means you are bringing a species under human management. Right now, that means we can manipulate its characteristics, we can do a purposeful manipulation. Right? उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं domesticated. ठीक है ना? So that's why, when you use animals like dogs, cats, they are domesticated animals, right? So they are under human management. Okay. Now, what are the steps in plant breeding and what is the process? Right? Today, in this video, talking only about plant breeding. Now, 5 main steps are followed for plant breeding. Step number 1, collection of variability. Now, herein, individuals of a species or population, right, obviously will show variation for a particular character. There are genetic variations of a particular character. Now, jitne bhi variations available एक particular species के लिए, you start collecting all of them, right? Now, all different wild varieties, species, relative, jitne bhi. Let's say, for example, you want to make a new variety of rice. So whatever varieties of rice, whatever types, wild varieties, jitna bhi varieties, you collect all of them, and this collection is called as germplasm. This collection is called as germplasm. Germplasm collection बोलेंगे इसको. So first step is जितना भी variety available है उसको एक जगह जमा करो आप. Because उसमें से you are going to select that what character you actually want for a new variety. ठीक है? So first step is collection of variability. Second step, evaluation and selection of parents. Right? So अब उसमें से you're going to select के which character. So you will have to select that वो कौन से दो plants होंगे जिसमें you are going to bring about this fertilization, you bring about this plant breeding. So germplasm is evaluated to identify the plants which are bearing the desirable combination, right? So obviously one of them will act as the male plant, one of them will act as the female plant, and this is process of hybridization. So first you collected all the possible variety, that's germplasm. Second, out of the varieties present, you identified parents, that तुमको कौन सा फीचर चाहिए, तुमको कौन सा डिजायरेबल कैरेक्टर डेवलप करना है, उसके हिसाब से पेरेंट्स अपने सिलेक्ट किए, एंड यू ब्रिंग टुगेदर इन हाइब्रिडाइजेशन प्रोसेस. Cross hybridization among selected parents. Step number 3, cross hybridization of the selected parents. Now, hybridization is crossing of two selected plants differing from each other genotypically in one or more characters. For example, high protein quality of one parent and disease resistant ability of other parent. Right now, so they are differing in these characteristics. So you want both the characters which are present individually in each of these parents, you want to bring them together into the offspring. That is your desired plant type, right? That is why you're trying to make a new variety of this particular crop. Now, hybridization right now is helping us to exploit something which is called as hybrid vigor. Now, what is hybrid vigor? It's also called as heterosis. The hybrid will always be superior to the parent, right now, in one or more characters, either parent, isn't it? So obviously when you are taking one character from each of the parent, bringing them together in hybrid, so hybrid जो है वो parent से थोड़ा superior ही रहेगा, right? उसको बोलते हैं hybrid vigor. We call this as hybrid vigor. Okay. Now, वन विल एक्ट एज मेल, वन विल एक्ट एज फीमेल, ठीक है ना। अब ये जो क्रॉस हाइब्रिडाइजेशन है वो तुमको करना है, राइट ना। तो अब जो फीमेल, दैट प्लांट इज गोइंग टू एक्ट एज अ फीमेल, जिसमें डेवलपमेंट होगा, यू डोंट रिक्वायर उसका एंथर, सो उसका एंथर्स आप निकाल दो। तो रिमूवल ऑफ दैट एंथर इज इमैस्कुलेशन, राइट ना। सो इफ यू हैव सिलेक्टेड अ प्लांट टू दैट दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द फीमेल प्लांट, इस पे डेवलपमेंट होगा, राइट ना। अगर उसके पास बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर्स है तो उसका एंथर आप निकाल दो, राइट ना। उसके बाद क्या होगा, see after you have done the hybridization you have to actually cover that female parent with butter paper bags, usko bagging bolte, you don't want unwanted foreign pollen also to come in and spoil the entire process, right? When the stigma becomes receptive, right now जो male parent आपने select किया है उसका pollen grain, pick up the pollen grain, artificially dust it on the stigma of the selected female parent and allow the, उसको bagging करके रख दो, the process will go ahead, right ना। So let's recount the steps. Step number 1 क्या था, germplasm collection, you collect all the variety. Step number 2 क्या था, उसमें से पेरेंट्स को सिलेक्ट करो, राइट। पेरेंट्स को सिलेक्ट किया तुमने, उसका हाइब्रिडाइजेशन, राइट। हाइब्रिडाइजेशन में यू सिलेक्ट वन ऑफ देम एज मेल, वन ऑफ देम एज फीमेल। जिसको फीमेल सिलेक्ट किया उसका बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर है तो उसमें से इमैस्कुलेशन, एंथर को रिमूव कर दो, राइट। स्टिग्मा मैच्योर हो गया, रिसेप्टिव है, तो पोलन ग्रेन को डस्ट करके लेके आओ एंड देन you go for the fourth step. The fourth step is now obviously fertilization will occur, seeds are going to develop, right now seeds जो develop होंगे, see mind you all the seeds, all the progeny that develops from the combination of these two parents, they will not all have these recombinant characters, the characters that you desire, right now you have started with character x character y, ये दोनों जो है वो मुझे offspring में चाहिए, right now for example let's say you start cross hybridization किया, for example 1000 seeds मिल गया, now you have to scan these 1000 seeds at कौन इसका character इसके अंदर है, right now selecting and testing of superior recombinants, obviously ये recombination है, the progeny of hybrids are observed for desirable combination of characters, obviously you want to cultivate them and check for the characteristics. So it's not a very short term process, it's quite a very long term process, and developing a variety of a plant takes a very long time, and it cannot be done by people at home, it has to be done by government agencies, right. We have Indian Agricultural Research Institute which is in Delhi, which is responsible for doing all these agricultural developments in the country. Okay, so the progeny of hybrids is observed, you will see that okay 1000 को plant कर दिया आपने, अब वो जो character तुमको जो चाहिए वो किस में है, for example out of 1000 you'll have only 100 200 in which the recombinants have appeared, so you go to select them, isn't it? So the plants which are superior and exhibit hybrid vigor, they are collected now अब उसका सेल्फ, अब जिसमें आया उसको सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन करो फॉर सक्सेसिव जनरेशन, होमोजाइगस बन जाएगा वो, isn't it? So now you self pollinate and start getting the new progeny, right? Up the fifth step, now fifth step में what are you doing is variety तो बन गया, now you have to test this variety in different agricultural conditions of the country, because different areas in the country will have different soil types, different water resources, right now different mineral, so ab you have to test this in different agricultural zones of the country, and you have to come up with a list that by soil type A है तो these are the requirements, ये fertilizer लगेगा etc, मतलब ये requirement है, soil type B है तो ये requirement, so this is called as testing of the cultivar, right now you have to test the cultivar. Now testing, you tested all the agro zones of the country, and then with standard list and instructions, then you have to release it commercially, right now. So if a farmer wants to if he comes to that a naya variety bana hai, so he can directly go to the government agency and collect the seeds from there, usko seeds directly mil jate hain wahan se. The government is the one which does all this entire process, right? So very very fast, what are the 5 steps? अब जितने भी आगे एप्लीकेशन आएंगे ये 5 स्टेप कॉमन है, राइट ना. सो कलेक्शन ऑफ वेरिएबिलिटी, evaluation and selection of parents, cross hybridization amongst the selected parents, selection and testing of the recombinant, superior recombinant, and testing, release, and commercialization of the new cultivar after having tested in different agroclimatic zones of the country. These are 5 steps to create a new variety of plant, the desired variety of the plant that you want. Right now, अब इसका application कुछ भी हो सकता है, as we go to see now. Right now, they've talked about green revolution. What were the elements considered under green revolution? Obviously, all this is applied mainly to the staple crops of the country, wheat, rice, jawar, millets जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं, right now, bajra and all that. These are all staple. These are things which are consumed in the basic diets of the country. So इसका varieties को लाना बहुत necessary है. So they've given some data statistics. As it is, the data is very old and redundant. The wheat rice, the wheat rice from these figures of 11 is increased to 75 and 35 to 90 million tons. This was due to development of improved semi-dwarf varieties of wheat and rice, right? Na? So what were the high yielding and disease resistant? देखो दो characters आ गए, high yielding and disease resistant. Sonalika, Kalyan, Sonalika, names given by IRI to these varieties, right? Na? For you, it is important that you please remember the names. Wheat के varieties का नाम क्या है, and rice के varieties का नाम क्या है. You please remember that, please. Semi-dwarf rice varieties were developed from IR8. IR8 was the variety from which the variety was the original source from which is developed. It is made at International Rice Research Institute in Philippines and Taiwan institutes, and they were introduced in India, and varieties like Jaya and Ratna. So these are all talking about varieties of ये कौन सा wheat का variety है और ये rice की varieties है. Okay. And other varieties of wheat and rice are also mentioned here. They talked about sugar cane, right? Now, northern India, we had Saccharum barberi, right? Poor yield, their sugar content, susceptible to diseases. And South India, we had Saccharum officinarum, again, exactly opposite. Sugar content was very high. So hybrid varieties, and these are the names of the hybrid varieties. Right? Again, sugar cane example दिया है. Now, plant breeding for disease resistance. As I told you, that the steps are going to remain the same. The steps are going to remain the same. Now, give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So, plant breeding for disease resistance. Obviously, number of pathogens like fungi, bacteria, viruses, they cause diseases in crops, they cause economic damage, and we use physical methods, chemical methods, fungicides, bactericides, we use a lot of chemical stuff and biological methods also. But what if we inculcate the resistant property in the plant itself? So अगर प्लांट खुद इसको रेजिस्टेंट है तो ना फिजिकल ना केमिकल ना बायोलॉजिकल कुछ यूज करने का जरूरत ही नहीं अपने को. तो फिर getting that? Okay, so the objective of plant breeding, one main objective is that you create a variety which is resistant to diseases, right? Some common crop diseases, again step 5 same common रहेगा, वो change नहीं होने वाला है, ठीक है? Fungi में you have diseases like brown rust of wheat, red rot of substance, late blight potato. Bacteria में you have black rot of crucifers. Virus में you have tobacco mosaic, very well known tobacco mosaic virus. Turnip mosaic virus also we have. These are common crop diseases against which we have to protect. Methods, as I told you, वही same 5 step रहेगा, उसमें कोई change नहीं है. right? Again, this is, I picked up it from the NCRT itself. There's one table given in the NCRT. A lot of table, in fact, are given in the NCRT. थोड़ा इंटिमिडेटिंग है, लेकिन बट ये लर्न तो करना पड़ेगा अपने को, राइट ना? सो वीट का वैरायटी का नाम दिया हुआ है, एंड इट इज रेजिस्टेंट टू विच डिजीज? Brassica, you know, is mustard. The variety name, cauliflower, cowpea, chili, right now? All these names of varieties are given, and their respective disease resistance varieties also is mentioned here. Now, talking about disease resistant, right now, अब एक छोटा सा stumbling block है disease resistant में. What is a stumbling block? See, you're going to develop germplasm, collect germplasm तो करेंगे उसके लिए, but the number of disease resistant genes which are present are very limited, right now? So conventional plant breeding यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा shortfall हो जाएगा उसका. जो अपना ट्रेडिशनल मेथड है प्लांट ब्रीडिंग का, उसमें क्या है, यू आर जर्मप्लाज्म कलेक्शन कर रहे हैं, राइट ना? तो जर्मप्लाज्म में यू अपना टारगेट है भाई रेजिस्टेंस टू डिजीज, सो यू आर फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन दैट जर्मप्लाज्म. अब उसका ही कलेक्शन बहुत कम है, राइट? सो हाउ यू गोइंग टू पिक अप? सो कन्वेंशनल प्लांट ब्रीडिंग यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा आके अटक जाता है. सो व्हाट टू डू टू ओवरकम दिस स्टम्बलिंग ब्लॉक, right? We use right now mutation breeding. You induce mutation in plants, right now. Inducing mutation in plants through different means and then screening the plant material for resistance sometimes leads to desirable genes being identified, right now. So up now, you know, thoda sa you have to play around, right? You expose the plant to a mutation causing substance, you allow, you know, thoda genetic changes, you explore those changes, kahin ek disease resistant gene to develop hua nahi hai, right now. So you're inducing a mutation for development of a disease resistance quality, right? So mutation defined as sudden heritable variation which appears in organism due to permanent change in the genotype. Mutations can be induced artificially, like example chemical physical factors, radiation like gamma, right? The substance which induces mutation is called as a mutagen, right? And this type of a breeding is called as mutation breeding. We have one example, resistant to yellow mosaic virus in bindi okra, right? Was transferred from a wild species, resulted in a new variety called as Parbani Kranti, right? So the mutation results in creation of a new character which is not found in the parental type, right? Now वो germplasm के अलावा है, right? So conventional कर सकते हैं, लेकिन थोड़ा सा, you know, there is a small, you know, थोड़ा सा, you know, it's not much you can do with conventional breeding. So you have to opt for mutation breeding also, right? This particular point is for disease resistant. Same will be for, resistant to insect pests now, right? Fungi, bacteria, virus, those are pathogens. So now you're going to have pests, animals which can economically damage crops, right? देखो, see, animals का कोई उसमें fault नहीं है, right? They are just looking out for food, isn't it? They are only looking out for food, right? But in the process, the crops get damaged and there is economic loss. So how do you cope with that? So insect resistance may be found due to morphological, biochemical, or physiological. Now, a plant sometimes is naturally resistant because of a particular feature, right? Now, for example, hairy leaves in some plants are associated with resistant to insect pests. Now, this is natural, right? The hairy leaves, right? Plant leaf ke upar you have hair-like structures. They are resistant to some particular insect pests. For example, resistant to jacids in cotton. Cotton has got these hairy leaves. So cotton is resistant to jacids, right? So now if I want, right now, to दूसरे plant में I want that resistant to jacids मिलना चाहिए मुझे, तो I'll borrow it from the cotton plant, because cotton has got that particular gene in its genome which is, giving resistant to jacids. Smooth-leaved and nectarless cotton varieties are not attacked by bollworms. In wheat, solid stems lead to non-preference by the stem sawfly. Maize variety which has got high aspartic acid, low nitrogen sugar content is not affected. So character morphological हो सकता है, character biochemical हो सकता है, character physiological हो सकता है, right? एक particular morphological character, particular physiological या biochemical character की वजह से that particular property of disease resistant develops. I am borrowing that from the plant, right? So plant breeding में for developing resistant in similar वो 5 step अपने common रहेंगे, ठीक है? So here we have a plant like brassica. Brassica, you know, is mustard. The variety is Pusa gaurav, right? It is resistant to aphids. So these are the varieties which have been developed. Now see, farmers, you know, from different parts of the country, they make these kind of suggestions and demands, right? Those who are into this field of agriculture, that okay, I am having this problem of pest. This particular pest is very, you know, predominant in my area and is destroying crops. So why can't we have a variety which can develop it? So the IARI, you know, identifies these issues, and that's how they keep on coming up with newer and newer varieties, right? Plant breeding for improved food quality, right? So disease resistant, pest resistance can be one issue, and improving the quality content of the food, right? So you know, artificial supplementation is not required, you know, that is called as biofortification. Understand first what is fortification. See, कोई भी natural food को आप you know, you add some nutrient to it. So what you're saying, you're fortifying. Yeah, you're fortifying that food, right? For example, you know, cornflakes. Cornflakes is normal food, but when I artificially add all these vitamins from A, B, C, whatever it is, right now, so that gives me a morning breakfast cereal like, you know, Kellogg's and all that. They are fortified foods, right now. Salt is available naturally. We are fortifying it with iodine. Get that, please, right? Ab biofortification is one step ahead, right? So method of breeding crops to increase nutritional value. So अब artificial supplementation, artificially कुछ चीज add करने की जरूरत नहीं. I use the same plant breeding method that by itself, you know, by this method, the inbuilt the quality increases. Like for example, you know, we have selective breeding high nutrient varieties with high yielding varieties. Okay, that those are crossbreed for giving us these kind of varieties. Some examples have been there in the NCRT also for us. Hybrid maize, right? When you develop hybrid maize, it doubles the quantity of amino acids, lysine and tryptophan. So protein content बढ़ गया उसका. Like wheat variety called Atlas 66 for high protein content. All this list is there, right now. So these are all biofortified foods, right? Clear, please? What are biofortification? Yes. And lastly is genetic modification for foods. Genetic modification, GM foods is, you know, the latest on the scene, right? Uh, but a lot of, you know, ethical issues, you know, a lot of scientific, you know, difference of opinion still going on in the community, whether GM foods are good for health. Right now, brinjal has been made by GM, cotton has been made by GM. Right now, so that you know, difference of opinion still going on, and you know, there is no governmental nod for, you know, using genetically modified food stuff. But out of the government scene, there has been development, and you have golden rice as an example of GM crop developed for its nutritional value. Right now, right? So the golden rice has genes from the soil bacterium Erwinia and either maize or daffodil plants. Right now, so they are inserted in the genome of rice, results in the synthesis of beta carotene, that is provitamin A, and that can be converted to in the human body by vitamin A, right? So obviously when you have rice right now, which already has vitamin A enhanced rice can be given in areas where there is, you know, high incidence of night blindness. vitamin A deficiency is there. So when there is malnutrition in areas where you can give crops, staple crops which have been enhanced with their nutritional value, protein, carbohydrate content zyada rahega. So just by eating those crops itself, nothing additional, already we can solve a lot of problems, right? So this is as far as plant breeding ka topic is concerned. Similarly, we'll take up a topic animal breeding also, and the other topics in the chapter also, right? As far as plant breeding is concerned, I think we are done, right? Thank you so much.